Namaste, my warriors, and welcome to Universal Goddess Tarot. Like, share, subscribe, donate. Donations are always appreciated, and I am always grateful for them. Message! All right, the message is they don't get the message. They don't get the message. They want to still keep doing dirt behind the scenes, right? Oh, sorry. I appreciate it. So, there's some kind of voodoo that they're using that's going back on them, times 10. It was taken over by your ancestors. Um, I think it's a voodoo doll, is what I'm saying. I think it's a voodoo doll. I'm getting doll because I keep getting a doll and the doll keeps coming into the picture. So something about a doll. They try to, I don't know, pin your picture. They probably had someone made a doll with in your image. You know how they do those paintings and they can make your dog into a pillow. That's what I'm getting. They did with a. And what happened with that is your ancestors are something to them. So they thought that they were going to do something to you. And what's happening is everything's backfired, like times 10, like in the worst way. They're being haunted. Um, they think that they can get rid of the doll, burn the doll, bury the doll. And what they're doing is they're burying themselves. They're burning themselves. Like, it's the craziest thing. And I mean, like in the worst way. Everything that they do that they think they're gonna do. It's really windy out here, guys. I'm out by the water, so it's cold, it's windy. Um, I don't really have a coat. You know, my family confiscated all of my clothes and my things. You know, they sold everything. They sold my furniture. They stole it. They sold it. They put it in their new home that they think they're gonna keep because they put it under somebody else's name. Yeah, the worst is coming down on. They think that they're not being followed, that they weren't followed to the new home, that everybody's moving to different areas and they think they're going to move to different area codes, overseas, overstate, that they're going to get plastic surgery and they get away. They don't realize they got DNA and they've already been taken, their DNA has already been taken in multiple ways. Like, dumb, da dum, dum, dum. Yo, like they got the dumbest of dumb. They did the work. They did the work for you, and now the system's coming down on them in the worst way. There is no escaping to them, just like they felt like there was no escaping to you, right? They tried poisoning you multiple ways. They paid all the bodegas, all the restaurants that you went to. They threatened them. They're going to take their license. They're going to take their livelihood if they didn't poison you. So they went everywhere. When I mean, you got poisoned from the pizzerias. You got poisoned from the Chinese restaurants. You got poisoned by the bodega. They were everywhere. They would have. They did everything possible to get rid of you. And here you are, my love. Here you are, my warriors. If you didn't fight that off, your spirit guides did. Your ancestors, known and unknown of the light and of the dark, did. The angels, the archangels, and the guardian angels did. The Most High Lord God, blood that runs through your veins did. That's why we are not the same. We are not the same. We are not the same. Your blood is different. They want to call you alien. They call you whatever you want. I call freedom. I call you royalty because you are. We are not the same. They are not like us. They are not like us. They are not like us. They thought that they were going to get rid of us like they were doing everybody else. Now they have to. Now they have to go down for all the bodies that they've taken out. There's a new system put in place with the cremation. I don't even want to talk about it because I might be giving stuff away. But yeah, they're not gonna be able to get away with none of that with the cremation either. So just womp womp. There's a lot going on, a lot of different stuff, a lot of different technologies taking over. It's a whole new world, a whole new world. Everything. You're gonna get everything brand new, brand new. They want you to come back and argue with them and fight because they feel lost without your energy. Remember, it was your essence that kept them alive. It was your essence, your energy that kept them safe from all kinds of STDs and whatever criminal activity they were doing out there. They knew that it was only you. It was only you, my warrior. Hello, my warrior. Step on in. Step on in. Get the tea. Get that tea. The tea is they can't get away not one thing. Ooh, it's chilly out here. I ain't got but a vest on and a sweater. They're still stealing my channel. They're still stealing my channel. They interrupt my channel with noise. I did a video in the library. I had to do it quietly, but you could still hear me. You have to just put it to your ear to hear me. But they were making noise through it, so they ruined my video and they put another channel up for my videos so they can make money. So I don't do readings. I don't do personal readings. Not anymore. I used to do them in my home. I don't do them anymore. Something ugly came through and got me very, very sick. And I decided I wasn't going to put my family through that. You know, I was making pretty good money doing that too. So we're gonna walk around. We're gonna walk around sending this lesson. So this stuff, my warriors. Whatever you've been doing the right thing, and I'm so proud of you. Nobody ever said, never told us that this journey was gonna be so hard, so heartbreaking, so difficult in so many ways. But you did it like the warrior you so strong, and I need you to continue that. Okay, I need you. Look, right now you feel alone, passed out, but just know nobody else got their wings like you did. All right, I need you to know that, and you did it for all the right reasons. Okay, for a better world, for this world, for a better world. You did it. You fought. You're still fighting. I want you to continue to stay strong. You know who you are. You already went through the worst of the worst. They already emptied your pocket. They took everything. This faggot man, he took everything. He took all of my children's and my grandchildren's innocence. He put them under mind control just to make them gay. He could put them in gay relationships, put them in gay sex scenarios. He did that. He did it to my son. He, he did it to his friends. If his friends were close to him, he got his friends the mind control because they want this world to be a gay world, a man's world. This is a man's world. No, it's not. It's not. Um, so they did mind control, put them in gay scenarios. Where in reality they're not gay, they're not. But under mind control, you can control you to do absolutely anything and everything. Murder their own parents, murder their siblings, do things to themselves, like they could have them commit suicide, um, have them choose transgender because the father is a true gay man. He likes what he does. He likes sucking people. He likes raping children. He likes stealing the innocent, knowing that he was the first one to get them all. That's what he gets off on. Knowing that he was the first one to get their innocence. So he said, babies. Babies, they're babies. They gotta be babies when they do it because I caught his brother doing it for his own child. Um, I was mortified. I didn't even know what to do. But I told him, and it was like nothing because he was doing it to his own children. So catching him do it to his brother, doing it to his daughter, Michelle, which he wound up raping her throughout her life, throughout her life. And then he was the one, the father was the one that took her, poisoned her. The grandmother knows about it. That's why there wasn't a big fuss. You didn't see them crying, over crying. Um, you didn't see them going through any of that when you went to the funeral because they were the ones at fault for her losing her life. And they broke her in so many ways. Like they sickened her, they tried to make her weak. They took out her mother to break her heart, to break her, and then they poisoned her to the point that she couldn't even fight for herself. Um, they take these children as karmic. They don't care about the children that they have. They have multiple children. Been around the world, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, they've been around the world having sex with women, just having multiple babies all over the place. To then come back and sacrifice those babies. Those babies are then used. My children are the sacrifice. She's been trying to take out my firstborn since she was born. Um, when she was first born, she caught spinal meningitis. They put a baby in the room with me. They already knew that baby was sick. And I was in North Central Bronx Hospital. And they put a baby in the room with us that had meningitis. And soon after, my daughter contracted it right from the womb. You know, the baby cried. You know what I'm saying? But she survived it. After that, she went through a sickness that they were trying to poison her. So um, she got she had to be put under a coma uh, in order to make her body help her body heal. She was put under a coma, and she made it through my prayers, my angels, my guides, my ancestors. My children are true gods and goddesses. They're warriors. Whether they know it or not, they're so fight and they're strong enough to fight this. But just like me, they got me too. They got me too. They got me in the mind control. I was I married this man to the point where I didn't even know how to spell my name. I got married in some sort of a dungeon. It was the nighttime. I wasn't prepared. He took his for a witness. We found his cousin in the street, drunk, in army fatigue as a witness. Just random day, just come on the phone. We're gonna get married. I didn't agree to that. I didn't agree to any of it, and somehow I wound up married and couldn't even spell my name to put it on paper. He had to spell it out for me for me to write my name. So I knew then that there was something greatly wrong that I couldn't even control. There were times I couldn't even leave the house. I couldn't even leave for the mouth. Couldn't keep my house clean. One that I'm very organized. I'm very clean. I'll tell you that much. I'm very clean. I like having everything nice and clean, put away, everything. I couldn't, I couldn't even clean clothes. I have bags of clothes in my house, thrown on the floor, walking all over them. I remember that. I remember, and I couldn't understand why. I found it so nasty. Like this man was nasty. He would blow his nose on his underwears, on his t-shirts, and I'd have to go and spray and wash all that shit. You know, he didn't care. Like, you know what got me was when his underwear was so dirty. You know, skid marks, like really bad skid marks. And I would say, there's no way that nobody could wipe their ass good enough to not get this on their underwears. Like, there's no way. There's no way. And it was because he was having anal sex. The shit was just falling out of him. But I didn't realize that at the time. You see all the red flags. You see all the red flags, but you don't understand it. Him talking to transgender men on the corner when they used to be over here in Yonkers by McDonald's. They used to be all over the place, dressed in the
the skimpiest of outfits, see through everything. Very beautiful. I'm not gonna say they weren't. Very beautiful, very organized. I've gone into a transgender's home, and very beautiful home. They keep it very immaculate, very nicely done. Um, and this is what he was doing all along. He sat there while I was pregnant up the hill waiting. It's cold. He sat there talking to these transgenders, but I just thought, as a nice person, I didn't think he'd get numbers. When can I see you? When can we have, a date? I didn't take it like that, and it was like that. It was always like that. Like he was always a gay man, and he was always a pedophile since young. Because if I met him in his 20s, he was already that. Because I heard from his cousins that he was molesting his little cousins, him and his brother. So when his cousins came back from Puerto Rico when they were grown, and I had my children, they came back to molest my daughter because they felt they wanted to return the favor, right? So this is what my daughter had to go through, going through life, being molested by family members. She would tell me, and I would tell my husband. There was times I tore him apart. Like I scratched him from head to toe because it was like when I told him about his brother molesting my daughter. At 3 years old, she was able to talk to me, and I would always find her as a baby to take the baby, as a break. We'd go to the movies, and I'd leave the baby with the grandma, and not knowing that the uncle was going over there, and he was um, sexually abusing my daughter, and I would find her red down there, red and puffy, and I was like, what the fuck? Why is this? Every time I take her to the house, she would up like that. It was because he was rubbing on her, probably putting his penis inside of the baby's private. So that's why till this day she couldn't have babies. She was destroyed from the inside. As a child, she was destroyed. He was fingering her. He was putting his little penis, because they both have little penises. But that's why they caught the children. But they're not going to do them justice to the baby. They had to go to the children. This is the atrocities that we as warriors had to go through, had our children had to go through for the mind control that they've done. They have to pay for it. We have to pay for it. We're not going through this alone. Our children are not going through this for nothing. They're the witness. They taught warriors. They just got to learn the way out, just like we did. We had to see things. We had to put things together. We had to put pieces together of the atrocities that were going on with us and with those around us, our loved ones. We're not the only ones, guys. I know that I'm not going through this alone. I've been through sexual abuse. I was filmed as a baby, as a little girl. I was put in um, group home as a child, and then put into foster care with a sexual abuser. They know this in the system. They know where to put your children. They know to put them into these sexually abusive homes. They know what they're doing when they do that, especially to a chosen. A chosen had to go through all these atrocities so that from the world you knew what the other children were going to be going through. You were meant to go through that so that you'd have the sympathy, the how do you say mercy for those around you, and you can picture it and you can see it. That's why you had to go through everything that you went through, the beatings, the beat up. They beat you up verbally, physically, mentally, spiritually. You went through it all, my warriors. You went through it all. And you had to in order to endure what was going to happen to you as an adult. And you were going to have to handle this because as a child, it's easy for us to forgive, but as an adult, we know better, So it was harder for us to do that. We have to forgive our children because we know that they're under mind control and they're going to make it out. They're going to make it out. I'm not going to say unscathed. I'm not, because they'll make it out, but they'll make it out because they've got to go through everything we went through. So It's a blue crab. They're in there. They're really good too. They're delicious. When they're cooked right, they're absolutely delicious. My father used to we used to put um, crab traps down there. I mean, you can't really eat them because what they're putting in right now. And they said that they're putting in radiation, water with radiation in there now. So there's gonna be a lot more that floating in the waters. Beautiful color though, right? Look at that blue. They're blue crabs. So you you know you're gonna make this out. You know that your gifts are waiting for you. You know they get to watch you eat. So feast, my warriors. You are to feast in front of them. Not one gets to come back. Not a one. Not a one. None of your family can come back and say, I had to do it. They made me do it. Your family did this. Your family did that. All the soppy stories. Look, you're not going for none of it. You already know the truth. You already know you've been through it. The person that's going to try to come back, whether it be your wife, your husband, your boyfriend, your family member, they want to come back. None of them can come back. Stay the fuck away from me. I don't want to hear none of your stories. This man came back to steal everything he bought me. Everything. He felt that since I didn't want him back, that I wasn't taking him back, that I couldn't have anything that I had. Even though I paid for everything with my money. My money. That furniture in the house, my money. Jewelry that I bought, my money. I had to. This man made sure, in fact, because that's what he did. He sold jewelry. He made sure that when I bought jewelry from him, that every week I made a payment. Even if I didn't have it, I had to make a payment. Meanwhile, he let people slide, but not me. Not me. He stood on top of me like white on rice to make payments for jewelry that I bought off of him. And he goes and take all my shit back. And he think he gonna come back with a story? Yeah, nah, motherfucker. Stay the fuck away from me with your lies. I'm done with that. I'm done with all their lies. My sister talking about, I love you more than you'll ever know. I said, bitch, click. I hung up on that bitch. You killed my mother, my stepdad. All of y'all got together around that round table and decided everybody's fate. Everybody's fate. I still haven't found out if my little brother's alive, because I believe he was gonna come and give them all up and tell me all about what was going on. We both had a talk because I wanted to tell him what they did to his mother. So I believe that they took him out. And if they did, you know what? My family goes down. His girl goes down. His girl was part of it, poisoning him, poisoning his food, his drink. Every day with a smile on her face, just like they did us. Just like they did us. Only you are gods and goddesses, my chosen. You are the true emperor, the true empress. The high priestess, the high priest. That's why they cannot defeat you in any way. They want to stab you in the back. I got a brother over here, a murderer, that want to stab me, like shank me like I was coming from prison. You think you're gonna get away with that? Nah, you ain't getting away with that, motherfucker. Daniel Mercado, aka Lucan. Nah, you ain't getting away with none of that shit, bitch. They've been paying hitman after hitman. You still here? You still standing, my warriors. So stay standing. I just keep warning you, but not to worry. You know, you don't even have to look back. Remember that that um that thing in the Bible that said that she was the wife of, I don't know who it was. That wasn't so. You weren't supposed to look back. Just keep moving forward. Just keep moving forward. That's what they want. Don't even look back. You don't have to look back, because God got your back. You got Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Gabriel, Uriel, all the archangels and guardian angels, names that you don't even know about. They got your back. You didn't make it this far for nothing. And it's here. It's here. They just keep trying to block it in every way possible, but they can't anymore. It's here. It's here. You're going to get news of it somehow. Yeah, we're homeless in the street. They made it so that they couldn't find us. That's why they made you homeless, so that you couldn't get that message. But it's coming to you. You're going to get it. They got to go through the court systems. They'll find you through the court systems. Your lawyer knows where you are, right? Your lawyer, you got a good lawyer that probably at the beginning was working with them, but not anymore. They want to come clean. They want to come clean. They want to give you your money. They want to give you everything. Me, I'm gonna go get a forensic of all my assets. I want to know where every little red cent went. And then comes all the lawsuits. Everyone gets sued, especially Pedro Antonio Ramos. He gonna have to come up with that money buried, that he put in the floorboards, that he put in the walls, all of that he did in a home. Yeah, they're gonna tear that bitch up. Me, I rebuild. I rebuild bigger and better than ever. He thinks that he's just gonna continue to be this arson and burn down everything. If he can't have it, you can't have it. That's how he sees it. If he can't have you, nobody can have you. That's how he sees you. That faggot. That fucking little penis faggot. Fucking dick sucking, ass licking motherfucker. Yeah, everybody already knows what you are. You're the monster that always played the nice guy. What a nice guy. No, not Peter. No, the hell no. Pedro couldn't do that. No way. I can't believe, yeah, Pedro's a fucking pedophile. Pedro's a rapist. Pedro's a fucking gay man. And you know what's crazy is my girlfriend years ago, and I'm talking about 30 years ago, she let me know, yo, your man is gay. He was upstairs having his dick sucked by another gay man. And I didn't believe him. In fact, I broke my friendship with her because I was like, yo, you're not going to talk about my man like that, you know? And she goes, yo, I'm trying to warn you. I'm trying to fucking, like, she was really trying to warn me, and we fought about it. I mean, verbally, we didn't physically fight, but it was emotional for me. Like, yo, how you could come down on me like that, talk about my man like that. Meanwhile, she had already known, and I gotta publicly apologize to her and say, yo, I'm so sorry that I didn't believe you. My heart just couldn't take that. My soul, you know. And she was right all along. So, Lady D, yo, I apologize. Thank you for trying to let me know from the beginning. And I'm sorry that I didn't believe you. It was hard for me to even take that in. So just, and I love you, and I'm sorry that I couldn't believe you at that time. But I believe you now, girl. I believe you now. And the reason she got sick is because they were coming at her because of that. They were poisoning Lady D because she was telling me the truth. So I hope she's still alive, you know. She was a good friend to me. I just couldn't take that, you know. I tell you, when they tell you the truth about things and you just can't handle the truth, you deny everybody. I denied everybody. So I know that my warriors went through the same thing. Yo, your wife's a whore, man. Yo, she got a girl over here while she with you. She just playing with you and taking you for every cent you got. And they talk about you and all of that like shit. And you won't believe it because you're like, nah, my wife won't do that shit to me. Right? Meanwhile, she got somebody else's baby. She got this gay man's baby. And they're hanging on because they thought that they were gonna have your money. They thought that they were gonna get rid of you to the divine masculine, divine feminine. They thought that they were gonna get rid of you and they were gonna get away with all your money. That's what they thought. And womp womp, it's not happening. They're all getting caught up. These karmic feminines, these karmic feminines is what I'm gonna say. Because what do I say? These karmic masculines, they're not masculine. They try to dress as a man. Meanwhile, they like dick and ass. And they've been raping little boys and putting them under mind control just so they could take the innocence of babies. This man wanted to make sure that he got every one of my children, every one of my grandchildren. They don't care about your children. They don't care about that they are the father. They felt like since they're the father, they should be allowed to have the innocence of their own children. They should be allowed to make their sons gay and to like transgender men and gay men and take over their friends under mind control. Meanwhile, they were never like that. They grew up little boys But I knew something was wrong. Something. When I told my son, there was something going on with his anal, or he had a pimple back there as a little boy, or it was something. I don't know if it was with his penis. And I said, Puppy, I'm the mama. You gotta show that to daddy because, he's a man, he's a boy like you. And he didn't want to. He was like, no, mom, you look at it, you see it. You, like, I think he was showing me his butt, and I didn't want to see his butt. Like, I just felt like that was daddy's thing, you know? I was doing all the girly things. I felt like this is now his daddy's trying to have a little boy. Daddy has to teach you to be a boy. And it was because this man was raping my son as a child, as a baby. And my son didn't want him to have anything to do with what he was doing to him. So we see things later, and it's too late. I didn't get to them. He, he took the innocence of my children, something I could never give them back. I can't give them those years back. I don't know how to fix the mind control other than prayer and love. Love, pure love. I will love them forever. I will wait for them. They have gifts. They have gifts. I will give them the life that they deserve, that they've always deserved. My children have always been good children. They've been protectors of this world. You don't see it now. When they were little boys and girls, they protected everyone. My daughter would protect other children. Even if she didn't want to protect herself, she would protect others with her life. She didn't care if it meant that she was going to get beat up. She would jump in for others. My son, he'd be the smallest guy in the group, and he'll go and run up and protect his friend anybody, before anybody even jump in. My son would be there first. My daughter was always, I don't know. My middle child was a little bully. She was a little girl, but she was always a bully. So, but strong, always strong. I raised strong children. They had each other's back. I tell you. My oldest daughter, she was the protector of the family. She protected me. So when I would leave the house, when I couldn't take this man, and I would be like, I gotta leave, I gotta go, and I'll be back for you when I'm settled. I just can't leave and try to make a life for myself and you guys with me out in the street with me. But me alone, I could enjoy that. Nope. I would go to leave. My daughter had her bag already. Nope, you leave. I'm leaving with you. It was because she already knew what she was going through. Whether she knew it spiritually, but she knew what she was going through. They just couldn't speak on it. They couldn't speak about the atrocities that their father was doing to them. They never wanted to tell me. So it hurts that I didn't see. I tell you, I would have been life in prison for my son being raped as a child by two other little boys. I believe my husband set that all up, set it up to happen. My son was so frightened to tell me, and he was like 4 years old. He just turned 4, and he told me what they did to him. I called the police and everything, and he did. My husband, again, here goes my husband, wanting to bring that kid down there to face my son. Like this was the mental um, instability that he wanted to bestow upon them, was bringing them to face their enemies, their accusers. So he's done that. He did it to my son, and he did it to my daughter. So my son hid behind the sofa and hid behind the furniture. Listen, I lost it. Get the fuck out of my house. I had the parents in my house, the kid, and when my son hid like that, I lost it. I lost it. I lost it. Because here goes my husband again, trying to bring them. Oh, let's bring them down here. Let's see. He knew what he was doing. He wanted to cause mental instability in them, to frighten them that way, to break them as children. He was never a father. He was always the villain. Always, always. And now he can hide. He can't hide behind nobody. Now his choice is take yourself out, motherfucker. Because if you don't, they will. Somebody gonna take you out. You did the worst to many. They're coming for you now. Now he took many lives. He's given many of them HIV, syphilis, gonorrhea, herpes. He's got a list. He's got a list of STDs. And he's trying to, they're trying to blame it on you, my warriors. They're trying to blame it on the chosen. They couldn't get you sick with a fucking cold, but they were gonna give you an STD. All right, all right. But it doesn't matter because when you get to go to court, you get to take that DNA test. You get all of that. You get all tested, all of that, and prove your innocence right there in front of everybody. So stay strong. I need you to stay clean. Stay clean. Remember, they went to court saying the worst of the worst, that you were a druggie, and it's coming. The court cases. You're gonna be called to court. You're gonna be testifying. You're that secret weapon, that secret witness that had to endure everything, and you made it through it all. So you're gonna be subpoenaed to court. Save yourself. All right. You don't have to worry. You think God has your back this long to let you go? They want you to think that. They want you to think that the Lord has forsaken you, and He's not. He's never going to forsake you. You made it this far. He made you strong in order to endure all this bullshit. The devil is a liar. Okay? The devil is a liar. I love you, my warriors. I believe in your strength. I believe in your stories. All right? You have something great to tell. You got stories to write, movies. I'm telling you, you're gonna be rich beyond your dreams. You get to sue every sector that came at you. The police departments. You know, I got the county police. I got the Westchester County Police. I got the Yonkers Police. I got the hospitals. I got multiple hospitals. I got the one in the Bronx, right? I got St. Joseph. I get to sue St. John's. I get to sue all of them, all these psych units, all the doctors that decided that oh no, you're not, we're gonna listen to what the screen says because they manipulated your medical records to make you look like a psycho, that you were on psycho meds. Meanwhile, you know who it was? Your copycat that was actually a mental patient, a real mental patient, taking psych meds only under your name, took on your identity. But there's cameras for that, all right? There's cameras, there's witnesses, there's all of that. Um, you never took any psych meds, never been on them. You've never been to a psych unit there, but they needed that power of attorney, so they had to get the fake police, the paid off police to get you into these fraudulent cases, whether it be criminal cases with the police or in the psych unit. You gotta be careful. There be poo poo in there. You gotta be careful. He's a baby. Yeah. So, you went through a lot. Nobody can deny that. Nobody. What you have endured, not many would have made it. Not many did make it. You made it because you are the warrior. You are the chosen. God knew that your ancestors knew that you were the one who were going to make it through this. They gave you the strength. They backed you up. You had legions of angels and archangels and guides and ancestors of the light and of the dark, known and unknown. Okay? You had legions. All the gods and the goddesses, they protected you. They guided you through all this shit. You wouldn't have made it without them. And I'm grateful for them in all ways. So you stand strong, my warriors. You made it. Your riches, they're right around that corner. It's coming. You might be getting a message this week. So tell your enemies, buckle up, buttercup. They got some shit to get through. 411 on the clock. Information coming on in for you guys. All right, you did it. And now comes your great reward. Everybody doesn't come in at the same day, it doesn't come in at the same time. Some are more earlier than others. So I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Continue the fight. Tell your story. Tell the truth. That's all you gotta do is tell the truth. Everything. Everything. Everything you endured, you had to go. Tell the truth. I love you. Stay strong, my warriors.